This is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing at 1122 Savoy Street. Out here in San Diego, we got a couple problem areas right now. We have an area right here that's leaking quite a bit, and an area right here that's leaking quite a bit. But I'm going to point out those areas. I want to point out what's happening right now. That we can see that there's so much ponding water on this roof. We have all kinds of areas where water is just accumulating right around these solar penetrations, and it's definitely an area of concern. We can see how loose a lot of this material is as well. It looks like there's a lot of fundamental issues with this roof. You can see all the repairs that have been done. This roof is about 10 years old or so. But you can see how everything's really kind of starting to come up at this point. All this mastic that was used to do these repairs is no longer doing the trick, and now the material itself is starting to come up. But we can see how water just ends up just ponding right here in this section, has nowhere to go. Same thing over here on this section. Again, we can see just how soft this area is. My foot just kind of goes right through it if you step too hard. But all that water just kind of sits right here, and all the granules from the material itself accumulate. So again, we've got some fundamental issues with the way that this roof was installed, but then you're also noticing the granule loss is starting to occur. So essentially what happens what's happening is the oils on this this torch down modified bitumen material have started to evaporate, and as those oils evaporate, the granules will deplete whenever it rains, and they'll accumulate in the areas where the water just sits. And then the fiberglass starts to show through, and the waterproofing is greatly affected. But again, you can see all the repairs that have been done. Looks like there wasn't enough proper bleed out when they went ahead and installed this roof along the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and provide the customer with two different options. One would be a repair, where we can go ahead and repair this strip on this section, and then along that section as well. We'll have to remove some solar panels to go ahead and do so. But the other option we talked about is replacing this roof with a TPO roofing material. I suggested that because of the fact that there is so much ponding going on this roof. There are areas of this roof where water just sits and sits and sits. So over time, especially on a flat roof, over time, whenever that water just sits, it's going to end up penetrating the roof. You can see how all the sealant around these penetrations is starting to go. So with that TPO material, it's going to go ahead and turn this roof into one singular membrane. Does a fantastic job of withstanding any kind of ponding water. And then we're going to talk about either doing a ballast system on the reinstall for the solar, or just using standard TPO boot flashings. But I'm going to go ahead and get two different options on that end for the homeowner. But either way, this section needs to be fixed, and this section over here needs to be fixed as well. And there will be some wood repair because a lot of that wood is rotten at the moment. That's it for my inspection.